Hello, it's me. When you hop on, say hi. I'll give it another minute and then I'm going to get started. I have 4 cards for you, and then I'm going to make a card holder out of our plastic uh, sleeves that our dies come in. Okay, I'm going to flip the camera down and get started. When you hop on, say hi. All right, tonight I am using the Ornamental Christmas. I had used this a while back, and I made some cards for you. Hi, Carol. Welcome. The first card will be this one here. And you open it up, and it just has a piece of the designer series paper in. You need a piece of basic white, which is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.25. Then you need a piece of the designer series paper, and that is 4 by 3.25. That'll get laid right here. And then I took a piece of basic black, which is a 1/2 by 4. I'm going to lay that right up there, but before I put that down, I'm putting some of our black and white gold baker's twine. And I already have some that was cut for another project, and I didn't need them all. So I'm going to glue this down. Hi, Deb. Welcome. So we're just going to put that at the bottom. And then I am going to lay this down. But I need to tear and tape. Need to cut that off a little. It's too long. And then we're going to put this one down. And let's cut that off. Okay. And then that's going to go right on the top there. I got to make it straight though. So let me take off the backing of the tear and tape. And we're just going to put that right down, even with the DSP. And then I stamped the tree, this tree here, and then I used the die, this one here. Hi, Sue. Hi, Renee. Welcome. And I stamped it in basic black, and I used that die to cut that out. And then I did a gold one, and that's going to go like that. And then I went ahead and fussy cut Merry Christmas for you. That's going to get laid right here, like so. And then I have these are dazzling Yeah, we did, Renee. I took a Sharpie and colored the rhinestones, okay, in black. Okay, so I'm going to glue the gold one down. About right there. And then this gets dimensionals. And that's going to go right about there. My Merry Christmas is actually from the stamp set. Okay. And we're going to glue that down. Like so. And then we're going to take our rhinestones. Put one there. And like I said, I used the Sharpie, black Sharpie to color the rhinestones. And then I'm going to glue this as a half. Okay, Gina Marie, I didn't see you hop on. Okay, so then we're just going to lay this on the inside. This is 1/2 by 4 of the DSP. And that would be card number 1. Okay. Card number 2, they're pretty simple. Not much stamping. Maybe the verse, the sentiment. This is the next one. And this gold glimmer I had in my stash. So I thought, why not bring it out and use it? Basic black, 8.5 by 5.5. And we're going to score that 4 1/4. 2 pieces of basic white, 4 by 5 1/4. One will go on the inside. Like so. Okay. And then this one is 4 by 5 1/4. And then we're going to get 2 pieces. And it's the same DSP. I'm just flipping it over. Okay. This is 3 3/4 by 2.5 for both of them. And one's going to go down there. One's going to go up here. And I'm not worried about having a gap if there's any. I just want to make sure it's even all around. Whoop, this one goes over this way. So I'm going to put glue. We're going to put this one down. And then we're going to put this one down. I want to make sure it's even all around. And then this is 3/4 by 3 3 3/4. That gets glued down. And like I said, I just found this in my stash. And it's gold. And it adds a little bling to it. This piece is going to go on the inside. And I'm going to stamp a tree. So I'm going to put this on the inside a while. And I should have stamped my tree first. Let me get the tree. A block. And memento block. And that's just going to get stamped right there. Back to the front. This is from the DSP. I should have showed you that to begin with. Hi, Linda. That's okay. This is the first card I did. I'm doing the second one. This is the paper that I'm using. And this paper here I just cut. There's different trees on there, and I just cut with a circle. And this is the 2 3/8 inch circle. I was going to say what I do. So then I am going to put this on the front. Like so. Okay. This is going to get popped up with dimensionals. That's going to go right about there. And then I am going to put that there. There's a little spot. It's on the paper. There's spots. But I think I like it there. Yeah, I'm going to put it over on that side. And then I'll put it down here because of the dimensionals. I'll be all right, ladies. Then that's card number 2. Now, card number 3 is this one here. And I'm going to show you how I got this because the paper actually comes like this. And I went ahead and put color to it. So I'm going to show you how I did that. Okay. All right. Basic black again. 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Basic white, and that is 4 by 5 1/4. And you don't need 2. I have 2 in here, and you don't need 2. You know what? I cut this. Okay. We're going to mount this on white. This one's not. 4 by 5 1/4. It's going to go in here. So we're going to put that down a while. And then this is 3/4 by 4. And that's going to go on this side. Okay. I'm going to set this aside. I am going to put this on so I don't lose it. This is 4 by 5 1/4. And it goes on the outside. And then I am going to bring in my pad here and some ink. Let me move these cards out of the way. Some ink and some daubers. We are using blueberry bushel, Cajun crushed curry, real red, and garden green. Okay, so I did leave the outside, the ones that don't have much on, I left them white. I'm going to take the garden green, tap it, and then I'm just going to tap it here a minute, and then I am going to just go over this image right here, like so, and then it colors the ornament in, okay? Then you take, when I'm done, I'll take some a tissue over that. It'll get rid of what's on the outside there. And then I'm going to set that aside for now. Going to do Cajun craze. I'm sorry, crushed curry. We're going to do this one down here. If you don't mind, if it touches, it's going to be, it's going to have a little bit of a shadow on there. And then I'm going to do this one over here. Okay. Set that one aside. I'm going to take the real red. And I'm going to do this one here. Okay. And I'm going to do this one here. Like so. And then next I'm going to take the blue, blueberry bushel. And then I'm going to do this one here. And I'm going to I'll do this one up here that's half off. I'm going to leave this one white and these two up here, these three little pieces white. And then I think this one I'll make red, green. Let's do this one blue. If you want to make them all the same color, then I would go for it. And then this one's going to be, I'm going to make that one green. Okay. And then I have one more here. Oh, let's make that one green. Okay. Close these up. That's why I close them up. I get ink all over my fingers. Let me get my chamois here and get my fingers wiped off. Okay. Then you're going to take a tissue or a paper towel or a soft cloth. And then you're going to just go over your images And you'll be able to tell if you have it all off, okay? Because it will come off. And how you can tell, when you rub over the gold, it's slippery. It has ink on. It's a little, like it has a little bit, I want to say, resistance. And there you have the card front. Before I put that down, I'm going to take the black and gold and we're going to wrap that around. Again, I'm going to use my old snail and we'll put on both sides. We're going to put one there. And then again. And we're going to cut that off. Well, Deb, you don't want to cut it off that it won't stick. There we go. And then I'll move them closer. This one needs to be tighter. Okay, Deb. Okay. I think we got it. Then that's going to get glued on the front. So let me get the glue. And I'm going to just go over the yarn, the twine a little. And then on the page. And you're going to put that on the front. Hi, Denise. Welcome. And then I have that down to up too far, but we're gonna make it work. This way to the point. Turn it over to the point. And I'm gonna just trim this off a little while, make it straight, Deb. Okay. That's gonna go right there. So I'm gonna put some dimensionals at the top and bottom. And we're gonna put that right there. All right, that's card number 3. Let me put the daubers away. And I'm going to bring these back down so far. Now the last one, oh no, I have one more after this one. Now this is the last one. I have none to show you. This was my supplies I had left. So I thought I'd come up with something on the fly. When I was creating these, I was just cutting pieces out and I had this left over. So we're going to just use these and see what I come up with. I have 2 pieces of basic white, 4 by 5 1/4. Actually, this one's a little smaller. This one's 3 3/4 by 5 1/4 because it's what I had left when I was cutting. So I'm going to put this one on the inside. Like so. Then I have a piece of designer series paper. I'm going to put that right on the edge there. Then it's a 1/2 inch by 5 1/4. And that's going to go on right there. Bring in my 4 by 5 1/4. I had a piece of this paper, and that was 3/4 by 5 1/4. I'm going to lay that right there, I think. And then I had a gold circle. This is a 2 3/8 inch circle and a 2-inch basic black. Yeah. I'm going to lay that there. And then I had fussy cut these ornaments out, and I thought I would lay them like so. And then I'll have verbiage. Oh, thanks, Deb. And then that's going to go on the front of the card. So we're going to put this down. Yep, that looks even. And then I'm going to glue these 2 together. Okay, and then these are going to get glued right on. I'm going to pop this one up. So that'll go there. And that'll go there. And then we're going to get dimensionals on this. And I'm going to put that right about in the middle. And then I think I'm going to put Merry Christmas at the bottom. Right there. So I need a block. I'll be glad when they all come through as photo polymer because I prefer them when it comes to verbiage. And then I'm going to get my black, Memento black. And let's stamp it. I think it needs to go up. Let's try that. That's better. And then we're going to stamp that right here. Okay. We're going to glue that to the front. They're very simple cards. That's the kind I like. And then, let's see. I'll get my bling out here. Get some of these black dots on there. Okay. That is my fourth card. And I wanted to show you what I made to hold the cards is this. This is one of our large plastic folder that our bigger dies come in. Okay. And I am going to take these cards. Let me do 4. And 4 envelopes. And I'm going to put them in here. Like so. And then this flap, the to put it in is down below that band. And I'm just going to slide it under the band. That way it'll stay shut. And then you have a fun gift to give. Okay. And I wanted to show you the cards that I made using this set before. And it was these. Okay. So all I did was, and then I had this for the peaceful. Which one is it? Peaceful. Oh my gosh, Deb, come on. Peace on Earth cards. Okay. And I used the smaller one. And all I did was just put a piece of basic white there and a piece of the designer series paper, the ribbon, and the verbiage. And that makes a nice holder. This is using retired product. This one's using retired, and this one's using retired. And you can get probably 4 to 5 cards, as long as it's not a whole lot of embellishments on them, in here with envelopes. And I think it would make a nice gift. Okay. So all I did was took a 2.5 by 12-inch piece of DSP, wrapped it around. There is a gap here because it's not long enough, but I wasn't worried about that because I put this down, and the mat is 5.5 by 4 3/4, and then this would be 4.5 by 5 1/4. And then you have a nice little card holder. So, but that is what I have for you tonight. Let me give you this one here, and then all of them are showing. Okay. If you have any questions, please reach out to me, either through email, dkl333 at comcast.net, or send me a message under the video. They will send me a notice, or email me at, I think I did tell you that, dkl333 at comcast.net. All right. All right, guys. Happy Halloween. I did not dress up. Sorry. Have a wonderful weekend. I'll be back on Monday. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. I always say that. Thanks, Renee. You're welcome. So, all right, guys. I am going to say goodnight. Thank you for joining me. Appreciate every one of yous. Have a wonderful weekend.